The Two Friends and the River. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by fields and forests, there lived two boys, Rahim and Faisal. They were best friends, or, at least, that's what everyone thought. They walked to school together, played under the same banyan tree, and even shared their lunches. But deep inside, Rahim was brave and kind, while Faisal often thought of himself first. Still, they were inseparable, and everyone said, these two are like brothers. The adventure begins one hot summer afternoon. The boys decided to go exploring beyond the village fields. Let's go see the big river, Faisal said excitedly. Rahim hesitated. It's far, and the current is strong. My father says we shouldn't play near it. But Faisal laughed. Don't be afraid, we'll only look at it. Besides, aren't we together? Nothing can go wrong. Trusting his friend, Rahim agreed, and the two set off with a bag of guavas and a stick each, pretending they were brave travelers. At the riverbank, when they reached the river, its wide waters sparkled under the afternoon sun. Birds dipped in and out, and the sound of rushing water filled the air. Faisal threw a stone into the water and grinned. See, harmless, let's go a little closer. But the bank was slippery, and soon Faisal's foot slipped. With a loud splash, he fell straight into the river. Help! Faisal screamed, thrashing wildly as the strong current pulled him away from the shore. Rahim froze for a moment, fear gripping his heart. The river was dangerous. He could run for help, but by the time he returned, Faisal might be gone. A friend in need, Rahim took a deep breath and shouted, "Hold on, Faisal, don't panic." He quickly spotted a strong branch hanging over the water. Without thinking of himself, Rahim ran, climbed partway onto the tree, and stretched the branch toward Faisal. "Grab it," he yelled. Faisal, still terrified, reached out with trembling hands and clutched the branch. Rahim pulled with all his strength, his arms burning, his legs shaking. Bit by bit, he managed to drag his friend back to the shore. Both collapsed on the ground, gasping for air. The writing in the sand. After a long silence, Faisal whispered, You saved me." "Thank you," Rahim smiled weakly. "That's what friends are for." Faisal stood up, looked around, and then did something strange. He picked up a stick and began to write on the wet sand by the riverbank. "Today, my best friend saved my life." Rahim raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Trouble on the way back. As the sun began to set, they started walking home. On the way, the boys argued over the guavas they had brought. Faisal wanted the bigger one, even though Rahim had carried the bag the whole time. "You always act like you deserve more," Rahim said, frowning. "Well, I slipped in the river. I almost died. Don't I deserve the bigger guava?" Faisal shot back. In anger, he shoved Rahim aside. Rahim stumbled against a rock and scraped his arm badly. Rahim winced but didn't say a word. Instead, he stood quietly, walked to a nearby stone, and with a sharp edge, he carved words into it. "Today, my best friend hurt me." The lesson at the river. Faisal stared in confusion. "Why did you write the good thing on the sand but the bad thing on a stone?" Rahim looked at him calmly. "When someone does a kind thing, like saving your life, it should be written in the sand so the winds of gratitude can erase it, and you always remember it, lightly, with joy. But when someone hurts you, it should be carved in stones, so time teaches them never to repeat it, and so the lesson remains." Faisal's face turned red with shame. He realized how selfish he had been, first dragging his friend into danger, then fighting over something so small. Tears filled his eyes. "I'm sorry, Rahim. I don't deserve a friend like you." Rahim put his hand on Faisal's shoulder. "True friendship means helping each other, even when mistakes happen. But you must learn, Faisal. Friendship is not about always taking. It's about giving too. A friendship renewed from that day. Faisal changed. He became less selfish, more caring, and always remembered how Rahim risked himself to save him. Whenever he felt anger or greed, he remembered the words Rahim wrote in stone. And whenever he felt grateful, he remembered the writing in the sand. Years later, people still told the story of the two friends and the river, how one boy learned the true meaning of friendship not through games or laughter, but through danger, forgiveness, and wisdom. Moral of the story: a true friend is known not in times of comfort, but in times of need. Gratitude should be light and joyful like writing in sand, while lessons from mistakes should be strong and lasting like carvings in stone.